welcome back
Hello.
to Visibility with Video. And I just have to point out the fact that every time we start with that video, I can see our three little cameras at the bottom of the screen, and everyone's just doing this as the sound
I was
is
wondering
playing.
if everybody else is dancing when when that comes on.
We sure are. So, hey everybody, welcome back to Visibility with Video, where we typically talk about all things video marketing, podcasting, visibility, all that kind of stuff. But tonight we're going to take it a little more chill, a little more relaxed, and we're just going to have some fun answering some questions, some random questions, some questions that we get asked a lot. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Should I be scared?
Only slightly. If I can get the thing to pull up right there, we go. Trying to get it where I can see you guys and the questions.
Oh, these are scripted in advance. That is scary.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I have
had
one
time to think about
Google
how to
Doc
embarrass
with
us.
random questions
All right, Mom,
that I
we
pulled
have
together.
10 seconds. We have to script some questions for Ginny. Go.
You just put time into preparing to embarrass us, Josh. It's coming.
Hey, no, I sent you this document. You have access to it. You just haven't looked at it yet.
I've been busy.
Okay, so since you are already holding one, Mother, we're going to dive right in by talking about what's your favorite coffee mug?
Oh, I was like, what am I holding? My favorite coffee. Okay, I don't know if I can get everybody see it here. Can y'all read that?
Yeah, we can kind of see it.
Yeah.
It says a day without coffee is like, oh, just kidding. I have no idea.
I will say that one cracks me up every time I see it.
I'm pretty sure in the entirety of my lifetime, I have never seen you go a full day without coffee.
No, haven't. Since I was 16, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. My personal favorite is one actually that you gave me. That is a little narwhal where the tail is the handle and it's got a little horn sticking out the other side. That is honestly my favorite. I am definitely a collector of coffee mugs. I have way too many. But that one's got to be my favorite.
So for me, I don't have a coffee mug. I have more of a coffee thermos, and it is this one here, which was given to me by a friend. Yeah, it's just
so
a really cool looking fox on it, and it has advice from a fox that will be kind of hard to read on the camera. But yeah, it's just a really cool design, and since it is a thermos, it actually keeps the coffee warm and drinkable for like 3 hours at a time, and that is something that I really like.
Yep. All right, so
and we should have a random question generator where you just push a button and it spins and then boom, it sticks out a question. All right,
I'm kind of just picking these at random. I have a list of a bunch of them and I'm just picking them at random. Next up, do we have nicknames for each other? Kind of. We have nicknames that we don't use all the time. Or that we used to, like you used to call me Nefer a lot.
Nefer. Mm-hmm.
We don't use that one as much anymore. You used to call Josh Josue a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you really like being called Nefer anymore, but yeah. I called you Nefer an awful lot.
Or we could
like
call Ginny. We could call Ginny by her hated name, Janae.
Oh my God! Don't even get started with that. Don't even get started with that. But no, I have like a million names for Josh, and sometimes it's just brother. There's just a million different things.
I'm usually just Joshua. Joshua.
If you can't tell, my room is at the complete opposite end of the house of everyone else.
So we have to call him a lot.
Yo.
All right, next question. How long do you think you would last if you were suddenly found yourself on a deserted island?
Long time. Longer than I would want to last, but a long time.
Me personally, I would say like 2 days. I would probably end up eating some poisonous berries or something. I know like nothing about survival.
Yeah, you see, with me, I feel like I would be able to survive for a very long time, but I would not want to have to survive on an island like that
Exactly.
for a very long time. So it's like my physical capability to survive is a lot more than my mental willingness to survive.
Yeah, I have ability to I have high pain tolerance, and I have the ability to, when I am stuck, to find a way out. So I think I would last a long time, and I wouldn't even mind that being isolated for a while, but then I'd go insane and I'd probably, I don't know, eat my own food or something. So before it was done with, I wouldn't last long.
You know,
All right, next one. Have you ever cried at a movie? And I found this one hilarious because I
No.
cry at every movie.
I don't ever cry at movies, never.
It is a rare occasion that I find a movie that I do not cry at some point during it.
Movies that make me cry. The King and I
Mm,
makes me cry. The Patriot makes me cry. Let's see.
yep.
There are so many. So
yeah,
many.
I don't typically watch that many very emotional movies, but I will say one that has definitely made me cry in the past, and it doesn't make me cry to this day, but it still can make me feel emotional, is The Lion King. That
I knew
is
you were
still
gonna
to
say
this
that.
day one of my favorite movies. The story is so good. There's so many great and just the mixture of really good storytelling and an incredible soundtrack in the background can make it a very emotional movie.
On Josh's wedding night, the Can You Feel the Love Tonight will be played during his first dance with his new bride or something.
If you can't tell, The Lion King is my favorite movie. So
Yes.
All right, speaking of movies, what actor or actress do you like the least?
Oh, the least?
The least. See, I don't have many that I really don't like, but I got one that sticks out in my mind, which is why I pulled this question.
Would I know their names?
And I know Josh doesn't
like
really follow.
yeah, it's not necessarily that I don't follow celebrities. It's that I cannot for the life of me remember the name of any celebrity
especially
in the world.
if I don't like
So
them,
it's like if I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that person. I watched them in this movie, in this movie, in this movie. But I have tried all my life to remember names of celebrities, and it just has never happened.
For me, it's probably going to be some comedy actors, and I'm trying to think, but there's very few comedy movies that I really like. Very few. So
Yep,
that's not really helpful.
That's same thing for me. There's two that I don't, and I don't like hate them, but I don't like their comedy style, and that's Jim Carrey and Melissa McCarthy.
I like
their comedy is just not for me.
I like Melissa in a lot of things, not everything, but she's got some good things.
Yeah.
All right, now to a real interesting one. What's it like working with family?
Yeah. So
we just had a discussion today. No.
my response to this is like, for example, with us, all three of us have a really good relationship with each other. We always have. The other people in our family call me and Jenny soul siblings because we have so many of the same interests. We do so many of the same things together, all that kind of stuff.
It's because you act like you're twins so much of the time. Like you're so connected till it's like you're twins. Anyway.
Yeah. So for people like us who have really good relationships with each other, they're like starting to work with each other from a business angle. At first sounds like, oh yeah, this is just amazing. Like there's not going to be any problems. We all love each other, that kind of thing. And we still do, but there are complications that come up with that because work is stressful. There's no way around that. Being a business owner is very stressful. There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of deadlines that you're trying to meet. There's just a whole lot of things that you have to keep track of. And so sometimes it's easy to let that business side of us kind of seep into our relationship, to where whenever we're just sitting around like eating dinner, all of a sudden we'll think, oh wait, there's this thing for the business that we have to do. What's the progress on that kind of thing? And so if we're not careful with it, it can get to where the business just doesn't shut off, and that kind of becomes just what we talk about all the time. So we have had to, for the past couple of years, create very clear boundaries where we're like, okay, this night we're just going to get together and we're going to play games together, and we're not going to talk about business at all. We're going to make sure that we're prioritizing family fun things that continue to build our relationships with each other, instead of just prioritizing business talk all the time.
Yeah, and it's really funny because you almost become two different people. There have definitely been times where afterwards, looking back, it's really funny to me because we've been sitting here having a meeting about something in regards to the business and getting kind of heated. We all have the tendency to get kind of heated in meetings. And so we'll be frustrated. We're all trying to voice our opinion. We get through the meeting, we end it, and immediately it's like, hey, you want to play some games tonight? And it's like immediately you switch into an entirely different persona. Whereas 5 minutes ago, I was super frustrated because like trying to get my points out and like figure out what's going on with this. And then now it's like, yeah, no, those feelings are gone. Okay, now we're going to go have fun. So it's really interesting to see that dynamic in us.
Yeah.
All right, this one I'm particularly interested to hear. What's a talent that nobody knows you have? And now I'm going to say this doesn't have to be nobody, but I'm going to say nobody in this sphere that we're in. Because all three of us know each other really well. I don't think there's a talent that we don't know of each other.
I have a talent I have a talent that I don't talk about much, so I probably have at some point told you guys about this, but I don't know because, again, it's not something that comes up in conversation a lot. But I am particularly good at mimicking people. And when I say that, I don't mean like mimicking their voices, I mean mimicking their actions. So if I am able to see someone doing something for a certain amount of time, then I can get up there and do it almost as good as they can with having no experience with it. So that's one of the reasons why, like, doing YouTube videos and things like that, it wasn't too hard for me to get into it, other than getting past the initial fear thing of being in front of the camera. But as far as the actual presenting it, I have watched so many YouTube videos in my life. So as far as like how to create a good intro to your video, how to keep people entertained through it, how to close out the video well, things like that, I had seen so many people do it that I was able to get up there and kind of get straight into it. And that's just something that I can do with a lot of areas. It doesn't work with very technical skills that just take tons and tons of practice. But when it comes to like formats of how things should be or what ways you should do things, I'm very good at being able to see someone do it and then pretty accurately replicate that.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Yeah, for me, I am really good at learning something new and being able to quickly implement it. Like, there are so many things that I have taught myself how to do. It like craftsy stuff like sewing, crocheting, drawing, that kind of stuff, but also a bunch of tech stuff where I'll just jump into something having no idea what's going on, and I just kind of teach myself how to do it. So I'm pretty good at just on the fly picking something up and then being fairly good at actually implementing it.
Yeah, I think you definitely are. And I think I have a lot of that too. And that I'm good at figuring out new things really fast. and just starting to work in them, new platforms or whatever, new
Mhm.
programs, whatever. I don't have any hesitancy that I can go figure something out. And I guess kind of in the same vein, I would say I'm really good at finding things, whether that's research or whether it's like lost in my house.
Yes.
For the longest time, and maybe still, I've had a record that I could find anything within 3 seconds. Anything that my kids had lost, anything they came whining to me about, that, and I would say, "No, go look again. No, go look again." And they'd still come back and say, "No, we can't find it." And I was like, "All right, here we go. Give me 3 seconds," and I would run and find it. So anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
being able to find things that need to be found.
Yeah.
All right. Back to a fun and easy one. How many pets do you want? And I know this is an iffy one for you, Mom.
It is, because I'm so split. There's a dog I would love to get and would have fun with and would probably fall in love with and all of this, but I don't want any of the stuff. I don't want the responsibility. I want to be able to leave and not worry about the dog. I don't want to have to wait, be concerned of when the day is going to come when the dog is going to get sick or the dog's going to die. You have to go through all that emotion and the drama and I just want to play with the dog and then nothing else. So that's why don't worry, I'm not committed to be a dog parent because I know I would not be a good one yet because I'm not ready to commit. But yeah.
Yeah, I like growing up in our household, we always had multiple pets.
So many different kinds of pets.
But we had multiple dogs growing up. We've had probably in total like 12 different cats that came into our household, were born in our household,
mice,
all of that.
Lizards, birds, snakes. Maybe this is why I have issues with pets.
But yeah, if I were to get a pet, I feel like I would want just one pet. I did have fun in the past having tons of different pets at the same time, but being an adult, again, kind of the responsibility aspect of it, keeping up with it, I would like to have a pet, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm in a place where I could manage having 3 different pets at the same time. So
I think we lost her.
No, Jenny, don't go.
Well, we can talk until she gets back, but I think she's talking and we can't hear her.
Yep. And
well, anyway, I think the solution to that is that if we do get a pet, it's going to be that you take care of the pet and pay for the pet and don't let me know if it gets sick and just I'll just come out and play. And then
well, whenever it gets to the point many years down the line when it dies, I'll just keep it a secret, get an identical pet, bring it back in the house. There you go.
All right. Am I back?
Yep, you are.
Okay, cool. See, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum where, again, currently do not have time or resources to take care of pets. But when I can, I want a dog and a cat. I have 2 breeds of dogs that I want to get. A cat. I want a lizard. I want a snake. I want a tarantula.
You need the farm. She wants a farm.
There's so many different pets and they don't have to all be at the same time. But there's so many different pets that I want to have at least at some point.
You got time. It's all good.
All right. This one's going to be interesting because we've talked about this before. And it's funny that we've talked about this before, but how long do you think you would survive in a zombie apocalypse?
One person longer than Josh, because I'll be right behind him. I'll be like, go, Josh.
Oh, man.
I'm kidding. That's what I'm telling you. When I get hit with something that it's an impossible situation, some switch flips for me or something, and I go into beast mode. So who knows? I don't know.
I think we would last longer in a zombie apocalypse than we would on a deserted island, honestly.
Yeah,
that's true.
definitely.
Working together.
our entire family is incredibly resourceful. We all have very different skills, and we all know how to just figure things out and get things done, whatever it takes to
Yep.
get what needs to happen done. So I don't want to be the type of person that's like, oh yeah, we're going to be the heroes of the apocalypse that survived the whole time. But honestly, I feel
You
like
just
we
might
as a
be.
family would survive a very long
I
time.
mean, Josh, you have the mastermind mentality. So you're just going to be like, figuring out massive plans like 10, 20 steps ahead. He's going to have it all mapped out and exactly what needs to happen, and Jenny and I are the resourceful ones, and we're going to just make it happen. And both of us, I think, have that personality that like we can be scared until we have to not be scared. And then it's just go time.
Yeah.
Just get out of the way. Done with this, forget it. So who knows?
Yeah, again, I genuinely, and we have actually talked in the past, not in the past couple years, but we have talked in the past about we would do, about what our zombie survival plan would be.
We even know exactly where we're going to go. We know what things that we're gathering before we go there. We like, yeah. This is just things that we talk about for fun.
All right, this next one I feel is kind of obvious if people have watched our lives, but do you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
Oh, let's see. I wonder.
I feel like it's not going to be obvious for people when it comes to me, because whenever I am like on a live like this or doing a video or something like that, it like I seem like a very extroverted person. I seem like I am very just happy, talk all day long. And that's really not how I am. I am that way around the right people. And that's one of the reasons why I'm happy and joking about things here, is because I'm with my sister and my mom, who I know really well. We get along really well together. So I can talk with them all day long. But generally, I am very much an introvert.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to say I'm an extrovert. No, I'm not. I'm an introvert. Probably the queen of introverts. But very visible on YouTube with the marketing company. So I don't know how that happens, except that you learn to do what you need to do. And I actually love, the only time that I don't feel so introverted is when I'm teaching. And then I honestly, when I'm teaching on something that I'm passionate about, I can stand in front of 10,000 people. I mean, I've stood in front of huge auditoriums, with thousands of people before, and taught. I'm not even nervous, scared, nothing. But yeah, put me in some awkward one-on-one conversations or something, and you'll find out.
Yeah, but I feel like there is a very big difference in that, because I'm like, even when it comes to YouTube videos or lives and things like that, like I said, I'm completely fine with those. But when it comes to just one-on-one conversations with people, that's where it gets harder. And I think part of that may just be some of the preparation that we get to do ahead of time when it comes to recording videos or teaching, things like that. We know what we're going to say, we know what we're going to do, that kind of stuff. Whereas in a one-on-one conversation, it can go anywhere, and you just have to try and figure things out as you're going. So what about you?
Oh, go ahead. Josh
Are
was
you an
asking
introvert
you,
or an
and then
extrovert?
I wanted to ask a question next after that.
Oh yeah, I'm totally an introvert. I'm totally not I have too much energy to be an introvert. I can't do it. I have to be talking and laughing and doing stuff. I can't. I am very, very extroverted. Very much love being around people, any kind of people, all the people.
And that's why whenever we need a very happy, peppy video, she's the one we pick for it.
It has been scientifically proven by AI technology that Jenny is the happy, peppy one, and we are the calm, steady.
Josh got what, like 70% neutral?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Mom, you're gonna ask a question?
All right. So say that you're about to face a really difficult day or a difficult call or something you're nervous about, whatever. How do you pump yourself up for that? What do you do? How do you raise your vibration or whatever you want to call it to be
Well,
ready?
first off, I usually, if I am anxious about something, I usually try and stop and take deep breaths about it. And then, and this is just how my mind works, I think through it completely rationally. And I'm like, okay, you're afraid that this exact thing is going to happen. What's the actual chance that that's going to happen? It's like less than 1%. So
I
why in the
told y'all
world are you afraid of
mastermind.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just started
Yeah.
analyzing it. And I will say that I can't always analyze myself out of fear. Sometimes I just have to get into it and it gets clear as things go on. But for me, yeah, stopping it, like, first off, just stopping myself from getting in that fear mindset when I'm like, oh, what about this? What about this? Just been like, stop, don't think about anything, take a couple deep breaths, and then let's analyze this. What am I thinking is going to happen? What's actually going to happen? Okay, I don't need to be afraid. Let's go from there, kind of thing.
What about you, Jenny?
Well, first, I remind myself that anxiety and fear is not my enemy. It's not. It's there for a reason. I have a tattoo that's symbolizing. I can't turn it enough where you can see well how it's there for a reason. But I literally have to get it out of my head for me to be able to process it. So I will literally sit here, I'll pull up a chair and I'll turn as if my anxiety is a person sitting here in the chair. And I'm like, okay, what are you telling me? Like, what is it that you're trying to let me know about this? Because it's always something. It's always, oh, you're worried about this or you're worried about that. And then I walk through, kind of like how Josh was saying, I walk through like, okay, if that happens, we'll do this. If this goes this way, we can do this. But I literally have to get it out of me to make it a separate person. And then my mind can process everything that like it's trying to tell me, but it's too wound up to tell me. So
Wow, I'm so proud of my kids. Wow. Y'all are really impressive. Yeah, that's awesome. I think for me, I have to do something that breaks the cycle because I think and worry in a circular manner. I can literally see the wheels turning in my head, just going through the motions, and I have to do something to break that, something fresh, something that will snap me out of it. So either I've got to get up and move and do something different before, or what helps me so much is music. I have to turn on some music that's just going to make me start thinking about, whether it's thinking about the beat and I start moving, or it's thinking about the lyrics and I start feeling the power of the lyrics. That can really break that chain for me and really get me pumped up ready for whatever it is I got to do. Like, no, I got this. Like I have to break the conversation with my brain, which is kind of like what y'all are saying. And Jenny, visualizing that person right in front of you, that's really cool. But I have to like break that conversation and say, you know what, we're done talking for now. Instead, start listening to this. I'm a warrior. I got this. We're going to be great. Things are going to be great. This is my day. I don't know if y'all have power playlists. I know we've talked about doing that in the past, but I have to have some power songs ready to really get me focused on the fact that I can do this. I can do hard things. So,
Yep.
Really cool. Well, Jenny, I think we might have time for one more. If you got, or Josh,
right.
if you have a question, either one.
I don't have one off the top of my head.
Okay, we'll let Jenny go.
Let's see. What's a good last question? Where is one place that you have always wanted to go to?
That you haven't been yet.
Yes, that you haven't been yet.
That cuts off quite a few places for us. We have been quite a few places around the world.
Hey, there's still a lot of places to go.
Oh, I have a bunch. I have so many I really want to go to. But I guess I'll have to say maybe Scotland, Ireland, that part of the world. I really want to be in some really big castles. I really want to be in some pubs, just hanging out and talking to people. Like, yeah, small town. small town Scotland and Ireland, you know,
Uh-huh.
like
Mhm.
the little villages. I think I would enjoy going and living there for a month or something and just hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I've never had one specific place that I'm like, I just really wish I could go there. But just in general, I do really enjoy going to places around the world that I've never gone before, going on road trips, things like that. And so I don't have a specific place, but just in general, traveling and doing things like that is something that I love doing.
I want to make one of those boards where it's a map of the United States and you take a picture of yourself with a landmark that you visit in each state and you put
Yeah.
that on the board so you have an image collage of, yeah, I want to do
Really
that.
cool.
Yeah.
It's not one it's not one specific place, but I want to do that.
You also
Mhm.
really wanted to go to an island to hang out with these little creatures, and I forgot
Yes,
what they're
I want to
called.
see the quokkas.
The quokkas, that's it. Yeah, we're still
It's
gonna
like
make it.
it's like this tiny little island off of New Zealand, I think, where these creatures just existed and humans weren't there for a very long time. So they have like no fear of humans and they just walk up and they look like they're smiling all the time. Google a quokka. You will not be disappointed.
They are very cute.
So yes, that too.
Well, this was a lot of fun, Jenny. Thanks for just
Mhm.
letting us hang out and talk. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's been a fun night.
Yeah.
All right, and thank you guys for hanging out and watching. And if you have any other questions you want us to answer about anything at all, just drop them in the
Ask
comments
us
and we will
anything.
check and we will answer. And we will see